need you.
Yes,
I mean, I'm not saying it's personal, but we actually don't.
Yes, we do.
Well, there was a great episode that happened, I believe it was Survivor, where men and women were divided up into groups, and the men were sent to an island to survive, and the women were sent to an island to survive. Now, interestingly enough, the men lasted a lot longer than 3 days without the women. In fact, they were thriving. They were eating everything that, hang on, stop. They were eating everything that they could possibly find. They were eating like kings. They rediscovered fire with nothing but their own minds, while the women were freezing to death. They literally gave up within just a couple of days and begged the men to go to their campfire. But we wouldn't last 3 days without women. If men were gone, who would maintain the infrastructure? Go ahead and lie to me and say women.
No. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying that each man is just null and void. I'm simply saying that women need to have an extra layer of reverence and protection and respect.
Good Lord, I can't.
Men created this table, them chairs, they fight in the wars for us. Women choose to be in different, like, easier job titles. Teachers. I'm not saying being a nurse is easy.
Teaching's not easy.
Teaching's very hard.
Teaching is not.
It's a very safe, easy job. Men don't really have a choice. They have to do these hard jobs because who else is going to do it? We're not going to actually choose to be an electrician. We're just not.
I don't know.
If you had to choose between being an electrician or being an at-home wife, you're going to be an at-home wife and get taken care of.
But I'm just saying, men are providers, so go do that job. Go learn a trade. Go do something, you know?
Well, you said that's all they're good for.
Yeah.
And what are you good for?
A lot of things.
Like?
I'm funny. I'm smart.
You haven't demonstrated that yet.
Okay, well, that's your
neither of
opinion.
those qualities
I'm a musician. I
funny or
dance.
You dance?
The list goes on and on.
What a great quality. You can dance.
Okay. 3 pool snacks.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Ron back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So I got a video for you guys from Keita J. Rose, and y'all might recognize her from being on tonight's conversation. And I've reacted to her a couple times before, and I believe she used to be a dating coach, or still is to some degree. I came across this clip on a couple of platforms, TikTok first, then Facebook. And she has a story of one of her friends reaching out to her and over here talking about she don't need her husband. Yeah, like we haven't heard that one before. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
So I had a conversation with my homegirl a couple of weeks ago. She called me during lunch. Baby, let me tell y'all something. I am a foodie. I do not like answering the phone whenever I'm eating because I love for my food to be hot. But if I love you, I'll take the phone call. She's upset. She's screaming. She's crying. She's mad. She goes into why she's upset. Then she starts kind of spiraling. She starts saying, I don't need him, talking about her husband. I don't need him. I can do this alone. I can leave him right now. I'm going to leave him. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Each time that she had a break in that rant that she was going on, I tried to speak. She wouldn't allow me to speak. My friends already know. I'm the person, I don't like to therapize my friends unless I absolutely need to. But I am really big on helping people understand that sometimes when your emotions are so high, it clouds your judgment and you say very irrational things and you act irrationally. Now, granted, as I'm listening, I realized that what he did, it didn't warrant this reaction. This is something else that's going on. She's going on a deep end, okay? And like I said, I like for my food to be hot. So I'm eating, I'm listening, but I really don't like to be disturbed when I'm eating. So I'm like, all right, hold on, honey. You're going to let me speak? You're going to give me a little moment? I'll let you vent. Like at this point, this is over 30 minutes. I've let you vent. I've let you get it out. Do you want me to say anything? And she's like, no. She's like, I already know what you're going to say. No, I don't want to hear that right now. Okay, that's fine.
Now, didn't I tell your ass a lot of these women, when they be doing all this complaining and shit, a lot of the time they just want They just want somebody to listen to them vent. They don't really want their problem solved. How many times have I told you guys this, bro? Can't make this shit up, bro.
I've listened to this conversation. I've listened to you speak and run in circles. And not one time, because it seemed like every time you got quiet, you wanted me to interject. That's what it seemed like to me. But then when I did so, you'll start talking over me. So I told you, you know what? I'm going to let you figure that out. Whenever you're ready to have a conversation about this and actually work towards a solution, you can call me. But as of right now, I'm going to enjoy my food boundaries. Now, to get to the point, after a couple of days passed by, once, she was kind of like resolved in her mind, her temper was better, she was able to actually process things, she calls me. Unfortunately, the damage was already done in her marriage. But she calls me and she says, I need your help. Okay. All right. Now we're working with something. Now, let me make sure that I have the capacity to be able to help you. Luckily, that day I did. So she was like, in this situation, Kitty, what would you tell a couple? Okay. The main thing is that she kept on saying that she didn't need her husband. My first go-to is, did you tell him that? Did you tell this man that you didn't need him? She says yes. Oh, you stupid. Lord Jesus. Okay. How did that go? What was his response? He blew up. Okay, well, if you don't need me, I don't need to be here. They ended up sleeping in separate beds that night, didn't talk to each other for a couple of days. So then I asked her, okay, do you feel like you don't need him? I don't need him. I don't need him. I can do this alone. I'm independent, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. So leave him. That's not the answer I wanted, Kitty. Well, stop saying that you don't need him. You married this man. This is your partner in life. Stop telling your spouse that you don't need him.
Ain't it funny, because I remember just doing a video not too long ago about a woman who was complaining about being a dating and she switched over into like life coaching or something like that for this very same reason. Women would come up to her, oh, I don't need him, and he's this and he's that. Okay, we'll just leave him. Oh, well, that's not the answer that I'm looking for. Okay, we'll quit complaining about it. And I be saying the same damn thing. So it's funny to hear her saying this, and she's a female dating coach, bro. You can't make this up, bro. It's just a vicious cycle repeating itself over and over again. It's just a different woman.
This is your husband. So if you don't know, I'm all about perspectives. So let's look at different perspectives. All right. You say you don't need your husband. All right. You got friends? Yeah. You need your friends? Absolutely, I need my friends. Okay, why do you need your friends? We go down a list. They're my support. Whenever I'm going through things, I can talk to them. We share memories. We laugh together. We go through life together. All of that. Okay. You need your friends. Do you have those same moments with your husband? I heard her smack her lips. No, let's be for real. Let's be for real. Do you not share laughter with your husband? Do you not get through life with your husband? Do you not get different perspectives and advice and support and encouragement and things like that from your husband? Yeah. In that moment, you didn't. Or am I mistaken? She goes, in that moment, I didn't. I felt like I wasn't getting the right amount of support. So you just completely cut off your husband and say you done with him. You don't need him because in a moment he had something that pushed against, or maybe in a moment he had a just whatever, just human fault, because we're human. He had a moment where he couldn't be the support that you needed. But whenever your friends can't be supportive or they're going through their own things, you don't say that you're going to cut your friends off.
Permanent decisions off of temporary feelings. That's what that sounds like to me.
I hear her choke up. All right. So I'm like, all right, let me lighten up, because I hear she's crying and stuff now. She's trying to hide the fact she's crying, but you can hear about her nose sniffs and all that stuff. All right. And so I'm like, all right, let me slow down with you real quick. Exactly what do you need from me right now? And she was like, tell me exactly what you would tell your couples. So I tell her, baby, men need to be needed. That's where their sense of purpose comes from. That's where a lot of their fulfillment comes from. Men are taught to be protectors, providers, problem solvers, and they want to feel valuable. And so they really need those meaningful connections. That's how they express their love and care. Now, even with these roles, it doesn't mean that they will not drop the ball. They're humans. When we speak of human element, people go through things. People have life experiences, situations that sometimes alter the way they see things. It alters their empathetic responses, but it doesn't mean that they don't care about you. It just means that in that moment, they probably can't give you the response that you actually need. So then she goes, well, why did he draw back? Why did he just walk out? Why did he just stop talking to me? Because you told him you don't need him. If he doesn't feel valued, you simply don't need him, you just hit his confidence, right? You just really took a jab at his esteem. Why is he going to be motivated to do more when you just specifically told this man, in other words, he's not valuable to you? I pull back then and I say, okay, let me not come from a psychological standpoint. Let me talk to you as your sister in Christ. You are a believer of God. When you married your husband, you came together under God, and God granted you that union. So now we need to make sure that we keep this union together, tight knit, even in these hard moments. We do so. That's your partner through life, through the good and the bad. Your husband is your sounding board during difficult times, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't have his own difficult times. And in their nature of being strong, because that's the expectation and that's the way they've been conditioned, men don't always show that. They don't always show those moments of weakness. So from a more biblical standpoint, I said, you need your husband. Let's get into the word. I said, the word says that your husband is supposed to support and guide you and your family to faith. That is in the book of Ephesians, honey. God gave Eve to Adam. Adam needed a companion. But even when he gave Eve to Adam, they both became partners in life. They were one another's support. They loved one another. They processed and went through life with one another, regardless of what happened. You need your husband. That is your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual safeguard. He is the provider and the protector of you, your marriage, your home, baby. Ephesians 5:25 talks about your husband loving you as Christ loved the church. That's sacrificial love. What better love than sacrificial love to understand selflessness and commitment? We need that as wives. We need to experience that. We need our children to see that. Not only is he your husband, he's your children's father. He plays a significant role in the household. A father's active role in a household is important. In our household, we need support. We need guidance. We need direction that sometimes we as wives and mothers simply cannot give. And the children's father, your husband, is there for moral development. He is absolutely necessary. The word speaks on the importance of a husband and a wife's union. We need that. So she listens and she actually takes it all in. And she's like, you know what, Kay, this is why I love you. I can't stand you because you get me together, but I love you. And I say all things with love. My circle, they already know what it is. But let me tell you something. As I would tell any of my clients, when your emotions are high, your judgment is clouded. And a lot of times when we're operating from such intense emotions, we say very hurtful things that are consequential that we cannot take back. We can't take those things back. Be mindful of what you say when you are angry. Be slow to saying angry things. Those brash, hurtful things, be slow to them. And I understand that in a moment you're so upset, but baby, you got to get that together. Because it's so much power in telling a man you don't need him. There's so much power in you telling your husband you don't need him. Don't let the enemy come into your marriage. First of all, don't let the enemy attack your husband, because the enemy can use you to attack and break down your husband. Okay? We need our significant others. As wives, we need our husbands, and husbands need their wives. Remember that. Okay? Bye, babies.
Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know what I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that helps with the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel vlog channel, Unplugged Traveler. Link is in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.